Hello everybody! Today we're going to be taking a look at dividing multiples of 10, 100, and 1000 by single digit numbers. So if we think to our multiplication, we've done this with multiplication, like thinking of things like 400 times 5 and 300 times 6 or 7,000 times 8. And now we're going to do that with division. And we're going to take a step back and use our place value charts to start. And as you get the hang of it, we're going to move right away from using those place value charts. It may be that you don't need the place value charts at all, and that's perfectly fine. But on your assignment today for the first 2 pages, I do want you to model it for me on the place value chart, simply so that I know that you understand how this works. And then from there on, you can go ahead and solve it mentally should you wish to, but there is a place value chart there to support you as well. So let's take a look here. You can see I've got 4 examples already sort of up on here. I've got 9 divided by 3, 9D divided by 3, 900 divided by 3, and 9,000 divided by 3. Remember that the 9, the 90, the 900, and 9,000, these are all multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000, and in the case of 9, 1, and we're going to divide them by the same number. So if we look at 9 divided by 3, we know to set up our place value chart, we simply would make 9 ones. We'd make 3 rows. Okay? And then we're going to just simply parcel them out. And you probably already know this fact. I would hope you do. And we know that there's going to be 3 in each. If I just parcel out nice and equally, we're going to end up with 3 in each. 1, 2, 3. So our quotient ends up being 3. If you want to write it down there, you can. Our quotient ends up being 3, and no remainders or anything. Now let's take a look at what happens when it's 90 divided by 3. The only difference here, guys, is that we're now talking about 9 tens instead of 9 ones, right? So we'd set it up very similarly. We're going to make 9 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens. And we're going to divide that into 3 groups. I think I'm going to need to redo my tens. I'm going to have to use dots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? And now I'm going to break it up into my 3 equal groups. And I'm going to go ahead and parcel it out. Now, because I have the same number of tens as I had ones, I'm going to end up with the same in each, right? I'm going to end up with 3 in each, but this time it's tens. So instead of a quotient of 3, it's just a quotient of 30, right? So really all we need to do, get rid of, whoops, I wanted to get rid of the yellow, is think of 9 divided by 3. We know that's 3, but because it's tens, we're going to pop that 0 on the end. Remember, we're not adding a 0, but we're placing that 0 on the end to show that it's in a different place value. It's not in the ones, we're talking about the tens. What do you think will happen when we do the hundreds? It's going to be the same, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hundreds, no different. We're just shifting a place value over. Right? So if I parcel it out by 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, we end up with 300s, and so therefore our quotient is 300, because again, we know 9 divided by 3 is 3, and we're talking about 900s, so our quotient will be 300s. Think to yourself, what would 9,000 divided by 3 be? If you said 3,000, you're right. Let's take a look. We're just going to be in the thousands this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No different. Same process regardless of what place value you're in. So if you know the fact 9 divided by 3, you can solve all of these facts without having to really think or set up a place value chart. But this is so you can see why it works. All right, so we still have 3 in each, but because we're in the thousands, our quotient is going to be 3,000. Pretty straightforward, right, guys? Now, Things start to get a little bit tricky sometimes, though. Let's take a look at 500 divided by 5. This one's not a tricky one. Again, if I think about 500, I'm going to put 5 hundreds in my hundreds place. And then I can make my 5 parts to break it into. Ooh, I'm going to run tight on space. And 1 is just going to go in each, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because we know 5 divided by 5 is 1, but we're talking about the hundreds place, so our quotient is 100. Looking at the next one, this is where things get a little bit tricky. We have 350 divided by 5. Well, let's show this on the place value chart. I've got 3 hundreds. Whoops, I meant to do black. 3 hundreds, 5 tens, and 0 ones. We're dividing it into 5 groups, right? I'm going to make these a little smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you'll see I don't have enough hundreds, right? I'm going to have to turn those all into tens. That's a lot of tens. So I'm going to have to make 30 tens here. Now you can see I'm not going to have enough room on this place value chart. So I'm just going to kind of put them up above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's taking all of these guys and turning them into tens because I can't parcel them out as hundreds. Everybody see that? So now I've got this one whole row of 5 that can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can parcel it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Parcel that row out. That row gets separated nice and equally. This row gets separated. This row. Lots of drawing, right? We don't want to have to do this. We're going to look and see how it becomes nice and easy in just a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I parceled them out, no remainders. And if I look, I've got 7 tens, 0 ones, and 0 hundreds. So my quotient is 70. Well, look, we could have done this a lot easier if we just simply looked at 35 divided by 5, right? If you know 35 divided by 5 equals 7, because you can count by 5s to 35, then you know 350 divided by 5 equals 70. So what I want you to start doing is taking a look at the numbers that you're working with and seeing if you can solve it with your basic fact or your easy fact. Then you can shift those place values, right? If we look at this, we know we can't do 3 divided by 5, so we can't just start with that. But if we look at the second digit over and look at 35, we can say, oh yeah, 35 is divisible by 5. I'm going to solve 35 divided by 5 first, and then I'm going to shift it over to the hundreds and the tens and make sure that I have the place value represented correctly. So let's take a look. Now we've got some without the place value chart. So we're going to try that strategy here. If I look at 3,000 divided by 5, first of all, I don't want to have to put that on a place value chart. That's going to be a lot of hundreds I'm going to have to draw, okay? I also don't want to count by 5s all the way to 3,000. That'll take too long. So I'm going to look at my first digit. Is 3 divisible by 5? Can I do 3 divided by 5? I can't. So I'm going to move over one more digit. Can I do 30 divided by 5? I can. So I can use my known fact, 30 divided by 5. And if I need to, I can count by 5s, but I know this is 6. But because we're talking about 3,000 divided by 5, take a look. How many place values do I need to shift it over? I need to shift it over by 2 place values, so 3,000 divided by 5 is going to be 600. Be careful that you don't write 6,000. Would that make sense? I see that there's 3 zeros there, but would 3,000 divided by 5 make 6,000? So make sure you pay attention to that and that it makes sense. You can always check your work by taking your quotient and multiplying it by your divisor. 600 times 5. Well, I know 6 times 5 is 30. So 600 times 5, I'm going to shift it over 2 more place values by putting 2 zeros on the end, and I get 3,000. Everybody see how that works? take a look at three more examples here. Again, 210 divided by 3. I'm going to look here at the 2. I can't do 2 divided by 3, so I'm going to look one more digit over. Can I do 21 divided by 3? I sure can, so I'm going to solve that. I'm going to count by 3s if I need to. I already know this is 7. So therefore, 21 divided by 3, I'm going to shift it over by 1 place value, right? Because it's 210 instead. So I'm going to get the quotient of 70. Last 2. Again, looking here, I can't do 1 divided by 2, so think of 12 divided by 2. I know 12 divided by 2 is 6. So if I shift it over by 1 place value, I know 120 divided by 2 would be 6D, right? I'm shifting it over by a place value. Anything divided by 2 as well, if you just know half of 120 is 60, you've got it. 1,200 divided by 3. Once again, I can't do 1 divided by 3, so I'm going to look next door. I've got 12. I do know 12 divided by 3 is 4. So if I shift it over by 2 place values, I'm going to have 400 as my quotient. Shifting those place values over, okay? So your job today is to go ahead and practice doing some 3-digit dividend division using your 3-digit dividend division with multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. On the first couple, you do need to show it on your place value chart. I want to see that you understand how that works. But on pages 3 and 4, on the 3rd and 4th slides, you do not have to use the place value chart, but it is there should you wish to use it and need it. Good luck. Have fun. Let me know if